Hey friends, welcome back. Now let's say we would like to evaluate the performance of our employees. So let's say I'd like to rank my employees based on the sales figures which they created for us. However, instead of showing all our employees, I only like to see my top 3 employees. And then group all the other employees into a box called Others. How do we do that? Well, we can use a calculated color for that. Remember, in Power BI we have the option to create measures. We can create tables using DAX expressions, but we also can create calculated columns based on DAX expressions. So I could go to my employees table and add an additional column based on expression, which I create using a DAX formula. The default behavior, if we go to the employee name, let's actually visualize that first. And then use from the measures table, the total sales in here would be that we see here. The employee names. So from IA to Tyrion, and if I go in the value section here, let's actually make the text size a little bigger, like 15, we can see all of them, right? And that's the default behavior. To see the sales for each of the employees, which we can of course rank if you want, go on here and then we can see that sounds are actually currently our best employee considering sales. Now that's fine, but what I like to have here is instead of showing the names for all of them, I'd only like to see Sansa, Tyrion, and Daenerys, and then for the other ones. So sorry John and the other ones, you all should be grouped in Others. And the way to do it, because here we have a dimension table, so we are on the one side of the relationship, we can go to the table itself, which is the employees table here. I can right-click on the table and say I actually like to create not a new measure, but a new column. So if you take this option, new column, and this column here should actually be the ranking. Okay, so let's say employee rank is equal to, and then let me go to line and define a variable. So let's say bar, the variable will be the ranking. So let's call this ranking and is equal to, and now I define a rank x function. So rank x allows us to rank based on a table. It's an iterative function, so we need to give it a table in the first argument. The table will be the employees table. However, be aware that we are currently in the employees table. So we have context here, and to remove any kind of context, we use the all function. So we say all the employees table. So remove any kind of filters we have, then we want to rank based on the total sales. So we can refer to total sales. Here we go. And then we'll make sure that the ranking will be descending. So the total sales and the ranking here will be descending. So say the value will be total sales, and then it should be from order descending like that. So let me close this now because the ties I skipped this, and that should be the ranking. Let me actually go to a new line, maybe here. Any value like that. Okay. So we got this, and then we need to return something because we use a variable. So let's actually maybe go here like that. And we want to return something, and we make sure that as a return, we check with an if conditional. So if the ranking we defined, if this ranking is less or equal to in our case 3, but we can modify this value if you want. So if this let less than 3, then I'd like to show actually the employee name. So I can refer to the name here, the employee name. That's fine. And if this is not the case, then I'd like to see others. And then I can close this, and we are basically good to go. Though at first we evaluate the ranking for the employees. We do this here in a virtual table because we only use the table within the calculation of this expression. The table itself does not really exist. It's not materialized. But we need to create it first in order to evaluate this ranking and make sure that only if the ranking itself is less than 3, then you'd like to see the name. Otherwise we'd like to see others. And if we do that now, press enter to evaluate this calculation. Now we have the calculated column. You can see this with the symbol here. And if we now go to our table and let's actually go to employee rank, take this option. We should see here, as you can see here, the sensor, Tyrion and Daenerys. And then you can see a lot of others starting from John up to Seza, all the others. So that's how we can actually label them. And of course, if we go back to the option here and use the employee rank, drag this on top here. So before totals. And then actually remove the employee name we have here, then you aggregate the data. So let's actually remove the employee name, take this from the view. And now we have C sensor, Tyrion, and Daenerys. And then we have others. And of course, now you can create any kind of visualization you want. So if you want to see this as a bar chart, you can take this option here and then you would see them as bar charts here, right? Like that. And you can see here, sunset is here, this value also may be at a few labels. So data labels and maybe increase the size a little bit. So let's say also 15 here. And then you can see the numbers in here and maybe position inside and you can see them inside. Right. So the visualization itself does not really matter from this point. Of course, feel free to do the best kind of visualization you want and can. But the main point really was understanding how to use this calculate column and then aggregate all the others, which are not our top 3 employees, into this added category, into this other bucket. And then you can visualize that. Okay. So that's it for this video. Hopefully that was helpful. Maybe you have a use case for that. Then now you know how it works. I encourage you to try it out yourself. And as always, thanks a lot for watching and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, best guys. Best.